Hey everyone, this is Yami, your Latina next door. Welcome back to my channel. If you love coastal farmhouse as much as I do, and you love the combinations of blue and white, this video is the one for you. Blue and white is one of those combinations that can be trendy, yet stand the test of time, which is probably one of the reasons why I love it so much. It always reminds me of being near the coast. So when my friend Lisa over at Lisa & Company asked me to join in on a blue and white home decor and DIY collab, I was totally in. And I have some wonderful DIYs for you guys to check out in this video. Let's get started. So for my first DIY, I'm going to use this teapot. I got it on clearance at Hobby Lobby for only $2.19. I love the shape, but I was not really liking the color. So I immediately knew that I was going to change it, and I was going to paint it white. I gave it several coats of spray paint. After the paint had dried, I put washi tape all around the little teapot. I placed it about 2/3 of the way down. Next, I took some brown paint that I had. I've had this for quite some time, as you can see, and I started painting the bottom portion of the little teapot. I made over some vases and I created some Pottery barn dupes using this technique a while back. After 2 coats, I removed the tape. And then I had this stencil that I got from Dollar Tree, and it's a nice flexible stencil, so it'll work around this little teapot. So I decided to go ahead and use the little asterisk that was among these letters, because it kind of reminded me of a little flower. I marked it off, and then using some navy blue acrylic paint, began to stencil the little asterisk all around. I spaced them out as evenly as possible, and then I did 3 rows. I did the top one first, and then I worked my way down, alternating the positions of the little asterisk as I went down. And that was it. For now, I placed some faux herbs from the Hearth and Hand line, but I hope to be able to actually plant a real plant in there very soon. This blue and white collaboration was put together by my dear friend Lisa over at Lisa & Company. She invited myself, along with Casey over at Coffee with My Sunshine, and Sherry over at Pretty Simple Sherry. Now you might know Casey with Coffee with My Sunshine because I have done lots of collaborations with her and we are good friends. Now, if you do not know who Lisa & Company is or Pretty Simple Sherry, definitely check out their channels. These two ladies are really talented, they're fun to watch, and they're very creative. And I am so happy to be doing this collaboration with these wonderful ladies. I will have their channel links listed down in my description box, as well as the playlist, so you can check out what everyone else created for this wonderful blue and white challenge. Okay, for this next DIY, we're going to sew some pillow covers. These will be going into the sunroom that hopefully I will finish sometime soon. I'll be making envelope pillow covers. I used white duck cloth, and for this you're going to need 1 panel from the front and then 2 for the back. And the way you do it is you take the length of whatever pillowcase you have, you add 6 and divide by 2 in order to get the 2 little envelope flaps in the back. It seems to work pretty good every time. The cushions were 16 by 16, so I cut these 16 by 16, and then the back ones were 11 by 16. But I wanted to add a little bit more to the front, so I cut out two 11 by 16 panels of this blue and white striped fabric that I had also purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these as well. So if you're doing this for 2 pillows, you're going to need 2 of the stripes, 4 of the smaller whites, and then 2 of the larger white squares. So the first thing you're going to do is hem the striped pattern fabric on one side. And then you're going to take the 4 smaller pieces of white fabric and you're going to hem one side each of those as well. Next, you're going to take the large square and you're going to take that striped fabric and you're going to put it on top of it, right side out. And you're going to pin it about 2/3 of the way down from the square. And you are going to want to sew down that hemline that you see. So after the striped fabric has been attached to the white, you're going to want to then take one of the smaller white flaps and put it right side in on top of that striped fabric. Make sure to have everything nice and smooth so that you can go ahead and start pinning that edge. And since you have 3 pieces of fabric, you want to make sure you fold it over and make sure that you are getting all of them in a straight line. Once that side is done, flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Remember, these are supposed to be facing right side in. Then it's time to sew both of those ends. Now that those ends are sewn, you're going to want to do the 2 sides and you're going to want to flatten everything out, make sure everything is nice and smooth, and start pinning them. Then sew both of those sides. I like to do a reverse stitch over the ends of the little envelopes because that's where you're going to be pulling on them the most. That way they don't tear open when you're getting the pillows in and out. Then after cutting off all the bulky corners, I run all the sides through my serger. But I wanted to add a little extra, so I had these buttons that I bought from Hobby Lobby. They were only like $3.29 and you got a pack of 6. And I wanted to add them over the stripe section of the pillows. So I marked them where I wanted them to go and then I sewed them on. And I basically used embroidery string as well as an embroidery needle because the holes were kind of big and using regular thread would have taken forever to fill up. And that is pretty much it. This is how they turned out. Oh my god, I love these pillows. They were even better than I had envisioned. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I want to make more. But I only had 6 buttons, so I have to wait to go to Hobby Lobby and get more buttons so I can make a few more of these. So I couldn't go without doing something from Dollar Tree, and I had this home sign as well as this Easter sign in my stash that I never did anything with. So what better time than now? I started by taking everything off of the Easter sign, and I disassembled the home sign as well. I'm using the Home Decor White Adirondack chalk paint, and I just simply turned the sign around for the smooth side and I began to paint it, and I gave it 2 full coats of white paint. I set this aside to dry and then I began to paint the letters. And I had this beautiful blue paint left over still from my coffee bar transformation. So I decided to go ahead and use it because I really love the color, and I gave everything a nice full coat, and I made sure to do all of the edges. Next, I took these poplar pieces of wood. I get these from Home Depot and they're only $1.05 each, and they are 36 inches in length. I took my little miter saw kit that I have, and I basically just cut these on my carpet. Don't worry, I vacuumed everything up. But I didn't have anywhere else to do it, so there you go. But I cut them at 45-degree angles, and I cut them just enough to lay over the edge of the sign. I wanted to make sure that I could cover those two little holes that were holding up the sign and give a place for the wood to rest on and adhere. To stain the wood, I use my aged glaze. You guys have seen me use this to make any item look like wood, but you can also use it for real wood and give it a beautiful stain. I like to remove the excess with a paper towel, and the finish it gives is a nice light brown color, but it kind of looks really beachy and it goes great with that blue color. To adhere the wood onto the sign, I am using this Dollar Tree wood glue. I haven't used it before, it's my first time, so we'll see how it holds up. I apply it both on the mitered corners and of course underneath in order to adhere it. And I place blue painter's tape on the boards to keep them in place while the glue dries. And just in case that wood glue was not that great, I did use a little bit of hot glue in the back just to make sure the boards didn't move. After the frame had a little bit of time to dry, I placed the letters on the sign where I wanted them to go, and then I glued them on with the wood glue as well. And that was it for this DIY. Not bad for a $4 sign. And I really love this because it's not your basic black and white farmhouse sign. It's nice having that coastal color. I will also be incorporating this in my sunroom. Okay, last DIY, and this one is a little bit more simple. You're going to need 3 candles in 3 different colors. The ones I had were white, light blue, and darker blue, all from Dollar Tree. I placed them on the stove on low in some water in order to melt the wax. Next, you want a candle making wick. You can get these online or in your local craft store. I've been kind of tinkering with making my own candles, so I have a little bit in my stash. And you want to get a mason jar. This little piece right here holds your wick in place. Now you're going to take your darkest color blue and you're going to pour it on the bottom of the jar. Now, I was a little sloppy at first, I admit, and I had to clean up what you see there on the side of the jar, but just try to get it straight down into the jar without touching the sides. Then you're going to want to let this cool. Once that layer has solidified, get your lighter blue and pour it in. Then finally do it with your white layer. Let that cool, cut the wick and add a bow, and you have a beautiful ombre candle. Now if I were to do this again, I would probably add another candle in there to get the mason jar a little bit more full, but don't you guys think this would be a great Mother's Day gift? Such a neat idea. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit like and let me know in the comments below which one of these was your favorite. Thank you so much, Lisa, for inviting me to be a part of this channel. Definitely check out everyone else's video in this. I know we worked really hard on these DIYs for you all. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. I have lots of footage coming up very soon with a ton of home renovation updates, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, adios.